My name is Jason Russell. I represent our family, the Russell family. We're missionaries in Papua New Guinea. We arrived in Papua New Guinea in June of 2000. As soon as we could, we went to the Western Province to begin our work on the island of Daru. God has blessed our work with a Bible school program, with a radio ministry, with many people called and ordained into the ministry. God has allowed us to have a drilling ministry we called Baptist Drillers. Several of our Bible school students have gone through the program and have worked with me on the drilling machine, on the sawmill machine, building churches, building pastors' houses, and God has blessed over these years. As we're able to preach in villages and young men get saved, they have this desire, natural desire, to reach their own people. We do this intensive discipleship and training. We've been able to see many churches started. We have a church in Yamega, one in Ruwa, one in Weem, another one in Padare, another one on the island of Parama, another one beginning in Milbie, another one in Boze village, another one in Waidoro. We have two churches now on the island of Daru, the main church where we began, but also a church plant on the other side of the island. One of our graduates has started a church there. The Genesis Family Baptist Church of Kondabo Village was begun by one of their own men who got saved in the capital. And in 2022, we went to that village and began to mill timber and to build a brand new church building for them. 63 miles of driving through the bush, cutting trees off the road, building bridges so we can get across to the other side. I had designed a building, they're building a computer program. And so we milled the timber and we had no power tools. Everything was handsaw or chainsaw. You know, we were going to plant the posts, and I said, is there going to be any like groundbreaking? And they didn't know what a groundbreaking was. So I began to describe a groundbreaking. They began to move quickly and put flowers together and coconut leaves that when we cut the ribbon, they would spring out and flowers flew everywhere. And these people just worked so hard, such wonderful people in the village of Kondabo. We were also able to go to Kondabo and drill 2 water bores for this community. I love these people so dearly and so happy for them. When we first moved to the bush in 2005, I had visited the bush, walked different places to get to villages, but we'd never lived there permanently. And as a result of living there, we realized the dry seasons are very long. We needed water. And so as a result of that, I began to research how to drill and bought a small drilling machine, and then that led us to buying a bigger industrial one for others. We formed a small business called Baptist Drillers. One, I'm able to employ our Bible school students. We're able to teach them a trade, but also the door has just been thrown wide open for us to come to any village at any time. In 2024, Baptist Drillers was able to drill in about 25 different communities, over 30 water bores we drilled. Some of the villages we went to, they were just so ecstatic for us to come, and they put on a big celebration, and they were just praying that we'd find water for them. And I always tell the villages, when we drill, I don't make water. God has to provide it. The men and I, we just continued drilling in the rain. This water bore produced almost 3 gallons a second. And they didn't know what was happening, but I was just rejoicing, and they saw me rejoicing, and they began to rejoice all over again. Villages are now asking us to come. But beyond the physical need, they give me opportunities to preach to them. Drilling is our means of reaching the community for church planting. We've been burdened for the Morehead area for a very long time. We've been asking God to send missionaries there, and yet no one has come. God sent us there to drill. We've been there for several months at different times throughout the last couple of years. We've already established a brand new church there. We call it Morehead Baptist Fellowship. We have about 20 people, and we've applied for land in Morehead as well to see if we can establish a permanent work. And so now we're faced with an issue. We have a ministry on the island of Daru. We have a ministry in the bush in a place called Weeping. But also we are just filled with a burden for this area of Morehead, and we are expecting to go. Our people in Daru have wept with us as we've considered the great need, but also the great distance involved. And my wife and I prayed, and we're willing to go, but we're gonna need your prayers. Some years ago, when I voiced this burden to some other people that were serving with Missionary Aviation Fellowship, they cautioned me and were really worried. And they said, Jason, every missionary that goes to this area, their bodies get broken. They leave the field out of sickness. And they said, be very careful, make sure it's God's will that you go there. And so we need your prayers.
David has a sore on his knee. When he is years old, we're going to show him this video. You goofhead.
So God has given my wife and I 5 children. Libby, Titus, they were just small when we went to Papua New Guinea in 2000. And then while we've been on the field, God gave us Ruth. We thought about Ruth as She came from another country. And then God gave us 2 more children, Joy in 2006 and David in 2007. We get to teach an hour in 2 different schools on Wednesdays. For the past several years, Joy, even as a teenager herself, has been teaching different grades. And now it's 2025, and Joy and David's time is now finished in Papua New Guinea. Their visas have expired. And now we're bringing them back to the U.S. to continue their life and find God's will for them.
I was born and raised in New Guinea, and my whole life is there. In the bush, I help my dad and Baptist drillers. They consider me, for the most part, as one of them, and I wouldn't trade it for anything else.
I appreciate what the Lord has done in my life, been able to help my parents in the ministry, getting to know those students and seeing some of them come to our church and get saved, getting to mentor them and disciple them, and we've become great friends. Leaving was hard, leaving PNG, saying goodbye to people. Yeah.
Honestly, our work is, we honestly don't feel like it's anything special because it's just our life is what we do. It's been 25 years since you sent the Russell family to the field of Papua New Guinea. God has saved souls. He's trained men and women for ministry. We've seen churches started. We've seen Christians growing in their faith in the Lord Jesus. We've now seen some of our pastors gone on to heaven. Although the Russell children will not be returning, we're excited about the opportunity to return back to the field of Papua New Guinea. We thank you for your faithfulness. Some of you have been supporting us since 1998, and we're so thankful that you've been faithful.